South County Lexus here in Mission Viejo, and I have Pat Lustig with me. Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Hello.
It's been a while. Nice to see you. So give me kind of an overview about South County Lexus and sort of where we're at with technology today in our cars.
Technology is advanced, and advances probably faster than we can keep up with. We still have, since the last time we spoke, we still have these technology specialists that help assist our customers to understand the cars, and for that matter, let us, understand them. So they're the experts. But technology is advancing. Safety is probably the biggest concern. Fuel efficiencies. The designs haven't changed too much, but the technology on what operates under the cars has changed drastically. A lot of the technology's moved with the fact of interacting with your phones. Some of the biggest problems people have is they live and die by their phones these days, and now they get into a car. We don't want them to be sitting on their phone and crash into somebody, so now getting the car to communicate with your phone so you can communicate while you're watching the road. That technology is advancing. Depending on the model, there's one thing that's really popular on the more expensive models is heads-up display on your windshield.
Okay.
So you're driving down the road and you don't even have to look down for anything. It's all up on your windshield. Just in little tiny holograms that are showing up on your windshield while you're driving, which is nice. Speedometers. Some of the technologies, you're driving down the road and the car actually pulls up the speed limit sign on your dash without you having to look at the speed limit, and then it tells you what speed you're going. So there's some pretty cool stuff, and there's a lot more stuff coming. I've seen an advanced look at the technology that's coming ahead, and it's pretty much that technology I'm sure it'll transcend other brands, but Lexus is at the forefront of the technology being safe. Well, it sounds amazing, and right now we're all a little nervous about some of the technology, so I'm glad that you have specialists that can walk us through what we need to know on the cars. So let's talk a little bit about your dealership here in Mission Viejo and why it's different than some of the other dealerships. We've been different. Our slogan is, start off different, just like you, and then right now it's different is amazing. We wanted to give a small town feel to our customers and be interactive as a special relationship with each customer. Once you get doing volume and everything, I think we've all been there where you feel like you're just a number. You're just that person, irritated on the phone trying to get through to somebody, that kind of stuff. Our goal has always been to build a relationship that's long-lasting with each individual guest that comes into our store. Are we perfect? No, but we've moved some numbers that are pretty extravagant in our industry, and I think that the rest of the industry, especially in the Lexus world, is gravitating towards that relationship building with the customer, because as time goes on, there's ups and downs in the market, but if you can create a loyalty with consumers for your brand, for your dealership, and for you for that matter, in the car business, that isn't something that's been embraced by the general industry. So we've stuck with it, and it's paid off handsomely for us, and we've got great friendships and relationships that go beyond selling cars and servicing them.
Well, we know that our residents of Laguna Woods come to you, and we have a couple of cars that we're going to talk about that are some of the most popular cars in the village, and we did get to test drive one, which was super fun. It was the 2019 UXH 250 F Sport. And so tell us a little bit about some of the features that we went through in the car.
Well, I think we went through most of the safety features on the camera. The UX hybrid also comes with the all-wheel drive technology, and some people think, I don't need all-wheel drive, I don't go to the mountains. Well, this isn't about going to the mountains. It's basically the overall handling of the vehicle. It is a benefit when you get into environments of rain and snow for traction purposes, but the overall handling and ride of that vehicle is superior to that is not the hybrid or the hybrid all-wheel drive system.
All right. So. Now, one thing I noticed, because I had never been in a hybrid car before, I didn't know that the car was even on. So tell me how do you adjust to that?
It's almost like today's day and age, you're in the cockpit of an airplane, and you mentioned your son's a pilot. Well, you've got to go through the sequence of things before you actually jump in and fly. Well, same with the car, and the little dash, when I pointed the button out to you that says ready, that's when you're ready to go.
That's true, because you don't hear the engine at all.
Well, the car is just not starting a car nowadays. And when you get into the car, there's each car has a different number of computer systems in the car. It's not just one computer, it's a multitude of computer systems in there. So just like you load up or start up your computer at home, it's got to boot through all the systems. Well, that's the way a car is nowadays. It has to go through all of this stuff.
Right, right.
So.
Now, one thing about this specific car is that it's kind of geared towards people of all different sizes. If you could just touch on that a little bit, why this one was so special.
Well, probably the most special thing as far as the culture of Lexus is, it's the very first vehicle that was where the chief engineer of this vehicle was a woman, a Japanese woman.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of women, or men for that matter, but the comforts of a car and how easy it is to, how you feel when you're sitting in the car and how you look out the windshield, and a lot of those things were important things. And this woman put this together with her team and developed this car where the success level of it is huge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen in the freeway where someone's just sitting up there on top of their steering wheel, that they're uncomfortable, they're trying to see over the freeway. I never was like that, but I've seen a lot of it, and this vehicle kind of eliminates that, you know, that feel for that. It's the stature of the vehicle's elevated enough to give you that feel of being able to see everything. It's not too high where you feel like you're driving around one of those big trucks.
Right.
But it's just the feel when you get into it, and the creature comforts and all the little things about visuality of outward looking, and then the creature comforts inside the vehicle. So it seems subtle, but it's important, very important, and consumers are letting us know that.
Let's talk just a little bit about some of the safety features that were in that car.
Well, I think some of the stuff it's pretty much the standard in our lineup right now. The technology, things like the lane keep warning system. If you're drifting off the lane, the vehicle will let you know.
Right.
If your blind spot monitoring system and you're looking in, a lot of times you don't see that car that's sitting in your side. You know, you look in your rearview mirror, you don't see it because the person's a little bit too close to you, or it's a motorcycle or whatever it may be. The sensors on the vehicle pick it up and put a little light that flashes in your side mirror.
Right.
The backup camera systems and the pedestrian safety system. You're backing up your car, and a car's coming in a parking lot, and it senses the car and it'll stop the car for you. Cruise control. I mean, you're putting cruise control on, and cruise control is it's not autopilot. And if someone's selling you a car telling you it's autopilot, I would not buy the car.
Yeah.
The technology is coming. To give you an example, it was given to me in the engineering of Lexus, is the Generation 5, which is full autonomy, where you don't even have someone driving the car, you just jump in the car. They feel it's way off into the future, more so than everyone letting you believe it's like already there, it's coming out. Well, the technology of something going down the freeway and reading a billboard where it's got a person in the billboard, they can't determine if that's a real person or if it's just a sign.
Right.
The technology that they had before, if you had a steel plate sticking up on a construction site and this radar device was taking a signal off of it. There's things that can happen that's being refined, but ultimately the full autonomous car is a long way off in the future.
Right. So one of the cars that we didn't get to drive was the ES 350, which is one of the most popular cars that the folks in the village drive. So just give me a little overview of that one.
Well, the ES, okay, which is the sedan, Lexus sedan. It's a medium-sized sedan. It's not the big LS, but it's probably the most the highest volume of vehicle that's sold in the village. The ES has evolved. It's been out for several years. The very first car that came out with Lexus was in 1989. It was a 1990 model. It was an ES 250.
Okay.
So that same platform of vehicle has evolved into today, where there's more and more leaning towards the hybrid version of it.
Right.
So a lot of people in the village drive one that's not a hybrid. Well, it's evolved where it's pushing 50% of the sales are becoming hybrid technology, because the price has come down to the parity on the two vehicles is within $1,000 of each other.
Okay.
You guys are watching a video of that car right now. The ES, there's an entry level that starts in the low 40s.
Okay.
Most of them are in the mid 40s.
Okay.
They have a ultra luxury version that pushes about 50,000.
Okay, and did I see that it actually got luxury sedan Best Buy for 2019?
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, that's great. Well, this has been wonderful. It's nice to revisit. Everything looks great, and I certainly enjoyed driving the cars, so thank you so much.
Anytime, you come back.
I will, and I really want to test drive one of these fast ones one of these days.
I
know that yellow one is definitely one of the ones I'd love to test drive just for fun. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
And remember, if you wanted to test drive any of the cars that we've mentioned or any of the cars on their lot, you can go to South County Lexus here off of Marguerite and Avery.